Your body language is subconsciously attracting or repelling the women that you actually want to date. And that's a really good thing or a really bad thing. And typically it's a bad thing because you're completely oblivious to your body language and your subconscious cues. So in this video, I'm gonna give you all the sauce. I'm gonna break down exactly my body language mastery so that you can subconsciously attract women without even saying a word, literally just from your presence. So let's start with posture. Now, obviously I'm hunched over because I'm talking to you and I'm intense. And so you can feel that with my posture, but your posture gives the energy that you want to give to women. And this is going to change situationally, right? So we can talk about approaching women cold, on a date, etc. When you are around women, you should have very strong posture. You should feel like there's a string going from the top of your head all the way down the base of your spine. You're straight up, your shoulders are back, your chin is a little bit down, and your chest is out. Now, you should not be puffing out your chest. This should look organic. I don't want you to be like, right? You'll look like a goofball. You're not McGregor, okay? But your chest should be out and your shoulders should be back. For really good posture, this is straight from a doctor, by the way, your hands by your side should be right up against the side of your leg. If your hands are in front, you're probably leaning over. Make sure your hands are right up on the side of your legs. That will show you have good posture. Now, you want to have confident, poised posture. You don't want to have like aggro posture, and you also don't want to have meek posture, right? Where you're rolling your shoulders over or you're not looking very confident. You want to be straight up and down, chin a little bit down, chest out, and poised. In terms of how far away your legs should be from each other, obviously, they should be just hip distance apart. And if you go up to a girl, approach them at an angle, right? With good posture. Look down at them a little bit, nod your head. All of these things are very important. And I can think of times when I've approached women and because of the situation, because of how I went up to them, my posture and my body language was bad. And every single time it goes terribly. Every single time I don't approach women or engage women with good posture, and commanding presence and all the other things I'm going to get into, it goes negatively. Because that's how they feel out survival, literally like on a psychological level, this is how they feel out survival tactics. What I mean by that is they need a guy to protect them so that they can survive. If they look at you and get the feeling subconsciously because of how you carry yourself that you can't protect anyone, her or you, unattraction. That's the deeper psychology behind body language. Now, number 2 is eye contact. Super important. You want to hold eye contact longer than they do. And so there's 2 main times this would happen. Before you ever talk to her and you're kind of feeling her out, and on the first date. Obviously by second, third, fourth date, your eye contact should be normal. But let's talk about the initial approach. When you're making eye contact, you want to do a couple glances over and you want to catch her eyes. You want that eye contact to see if there is interest. The most obvious way, which is not very obvious at all, you have to know the game, that a woman is going to show that she's interested in you with a cold approach is if she holds eye contact and shows a positive emotion in her face. You would only know that if you don't see the eye contact and like look away. You have to be able to maintain it, especially with a stranger. And I know this is kind of unorganic and it might feel a little bit weird, but hold the eye contact. Now, when you go to approach them, when you look and have that eye contact, you want to give a little bit of a smile. When they reciprocate, that is interest. That is why eye contact is so important. Because if you just look away, you might miss the sign that she's saying, come and talk to me. Maintain eye contact, give a little of a smile, see it reciprocated, go right on over. Now on a date, you should spend probably 80%, 70% of eye contact. The rest, you can just look away casually. One thing I will say though, you don't want to look down. If you're going to do anything with your eyes that's not directed at her and kind of, nodding and tilting your head and looking interested in making that nice eye contact with her, then it should be looking sideways. It should not be down with your eyes. And so obviously when you're speaking, and like how I'm speaking right now, I speak and I look around and all these things are very normal. So the eye contact mainly is when you're listening to her, right? But when you're speaking, of course, feel free to look around a little bit. Not make things fucking predatory. You don't want predatory eyes. You want commanding eye contact. Now, number 3 is movement and gestures. As you can see in all my videos, how I talk is with my hands a lot of the times. And I get a little bit animated. I use my body. I look around. Your gestures and your movement with women is very important. So if you're a guy, let's say on a date, and you have weird gestures or none at all, it's odd. It's weird. The reason is because if you have no gestures at all, let's say you just talk like this and you Don't even move your head. I'm already doing things. I just want to move. But you have no body language at all when you talk. It's going to make her uneasy. Guys that are a little bit more animated and use their hands and lean in when they talk, not only is it more engaging with your movement, with your gestures, etc., but it also makes her feel more safe. It makes her feel like you aren't hiding anything. That's the deeper psychology behind it, like truly. When you use your hands, when you lean in, when you move with your body, when you have these gestures, when you're not afraid to put your palms up like this when you're talking to them, right? Because this shows the palm up is a cue for disarmament. This is more serious, right? This is more playful and fun and relaxing. This is more serious. Do you see the difference of me just like doing that with my hands? So you want to practice the palm up, the relaxation, the disarmament. When you do this, you're talking very intensely. And so that might cause anxiety. Be aware of your hand movements. Don't have to go all crazy and stuff like that, but little things here and there really, really make a big difference in how your words will resonate with her. Now, when you're sitting on a date or when you're sitting next to her, you want to be in the sweet spot of leaning back relaxed and sitting forward intense. And so this is going to be based on the situation, the context, the girl, the location, and obviously the conversation. If she's yapping on about some trip, lean back and just, oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Nah. But if you're saying something that you really want to get your point across, or if something intense comes up in the conversation, not bad intense, but like good intense, lean forward and engage. You want to have a variety of ways you're sitting. You don't want to be like fidgeting, and you don't want to sit like straight up and normal. When you're standing, be straight up. When you're sitting, either be relaxed and lean back in the chair and spread your legs a little bit and act like you don't give a fuck, because that's the body language that attracts. Or you lean in a little bit and you kind of get a little bit more intense. And this is where you can create sexual tension a little bit. You could do it with either position, but you don't want to be the sitter, the normal ass sitter. I'm at my corporate job, I'm just sitting. You want to be relaxed or lean forward. Now, in terms of spatial awareness, this will obviously depend on where you are. Let's say you're at a bar, okay, just to make it really easy. Spatial awareness. You want to be commanding, you want to take up space, and you want to show that you have poise. And so what I mean by that is, don't be afraid to like put your chest back and spread your legs a little, and take up some space. If you're sitting down, right? Take up some space, put your arm out. You don't have to be, like this guy. This guy is a weak guy. This guy is a confident guy. This guy is a guy that's not afraid to take up space on a couch. And the same thing when you're standing, right? Put your arm against something. Take up some space. It's okay. It's totally okay, and it's commanding. You want to look like that guy. You want to look like him. Taking up space is totally fine. And in terms of actual space with her, when you're engaging with her, whether this be the first cold approach or on a date, you want to progressively get a little bit more close, a little bit more intimate. That's how you create sexual tension. You don't want to create too much comfort, but you start that way. And you naturally progress closer to her, closer to her. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit close to a woman. Nothing. You just got to own it. Own it with the eye contact and with the body posture and body language that you're comfortable and that you're comfortable in this space. Women can sense when you're like anxiously moving closer to try and like break the ice, but you're really unsure of yourself. Just relax. Do some breath work. Have some ashwagandha. Cut the distance as the night goes on, as the conversation goes on. Maintain the eye contact, and that's how you create sexual tension. Now, with your body language and with your sexual tension, there's also ways to break the touch barrier, which is very important as well. And so I like to break the touch barrier typically a couple different ways, depending on the night or depending on like how long in the date has been. And is this my first time talking to her? Is this not, etc. I like friendly teases and pats on the arm with the back of my hand like that, or on the shoulder or on the leg, something like that to break the touch barrier in a very disarming way. Right? I'm not like grabbing her neck already. I'm not walking her around yet. I'm not pulling her hair yet. So I just want to like tease and play and do a little bit of that because it's disarming, right? Think about it this way. Can you think of a better way to break the touch barrier? It's the best way. Like think of a more disarming, relaxed way to break the touch barrier. And then over time, I put my hand on her leg. I put my hand on, you feel these things out. The back of her neck area, maybe her back. It depends how receptive she is. Like obviously, if I like playfully tease her and like tap her like that, she runs away. I'm not gonna fucking do one of those. But so long as she's receptive, then you escalate with the leg, then you escalate with the back, the neck, any of that. Grab her hand, do whatever you want. Honestly, less consent the better in this situation where you're just like commanding the touch barrier, so long as you see that green light when you start to initiate it. And you'll see the green light by her moving closer, by her reciprocating it, by her leaning into you, etc. That's how she will show that. Now, the last thing is the psychology behind putting it all together. Because the most important part of mastering body language to attract women is reading her and reading the room and reading the situation. So first date versus cold approach, etc. You want to have different types of body languages and different ways of translating that to create sexual tension with a girl. And the most important advice I can give you in terms of this is always remember the baseline psychology of women. Women are attracted to men that are dominant, leading, have a plan, can provide and protect. This will never go away. It's ingrained in their cells. Show them that with your body language, with your tonality. I'll talk about tonality in another video. Show them with your body language and how you carry yourself in your posture and how you're seated that you're calm, confident, relaxed, can provide, can protect, they're safe, they're comfortable, but there's sexual tension. It's the yin and yang. They need to feel comfortable, but they also need to feel aroused. And so that's why we break touch barriers, but that's why we lean back. Do you see the polarizing difference? That's why we might, break the spatial distance, but that's also why we might go to the bathroom, might walk away, might do these things, because there needs to be variety in how we operate. You can't just be the lean back guy the whole time, the relaxed guy the whole time. You need both. That's why I said lean back and lean forward. Touch, don't touch, escalate, have movements with your posture, with your eye contact. You need to exhibit in everything I just mentioned that you're leading and commanding, and that this is what you do. This is who you are. And by default, with everything I just told you, and with that undertone behind all of your behavior, she's going to be attracted to you. She's going to be interested in you. If you want the full system, check out the links below. One-on-one mentorship. I have 3 spots in July. If you'd like to apply, it could be a good fit. I'll work with you one-on-one. We'll go over everything from retention to dates, to mindset, to texting, to follow-ups, all of that. And I also have the Unreadable Man Protocol if one-on-one is not your vibe, which is a fantastic guide on being less readable, less predictable, and helping you be more attractive for women. I'll see you in the next video.